when we first read about this, it seems to be almost humorous when it happens to someone, unless it happens to you or someone you know. It's called spoof calling, and it is where a family or a friend is contacted with a photo or a screenshot and a phone call in the voice a lot of times of the person saying, I've been kidnapped or I'm in a very bad situation. And it happened really close to home here in our building. Arizona Sports, Sarah Kezele is here. She is with the Bickley and Murata show. And this happened to you.
Yeah, it did. I was used as bait for my siblings. So I didn't have to take a phone call, but my name, my photo was showing up on my brother's phones. And fortunately, we intercepted it before it got to my parents. But a really scary situation. This happened last week. And my younger brother got a call first. Again, my name, however he has me saved in his phone, just showed up. So thought he was getting a phone call from me. He answers the phone. It's immediate chaos. It's screaming. It's, we have her. It's, we're asking for X amount of dollars. Do you have Apple Pay? Do you have Venmo? Do you have Zelle? If not, we are going to, I don't know if I can say those words on the air.
Yeah.
We're going to slit her throat.
Yeah.
Pretty scary way to answer the phone, right? So
wow.
My younger brother had, I don't know if he had heard of it before or what gave him the sense, but he hung up immediately and called me and said, are you okay? And I was in my bed. I just woken up from my nap because I wake up at 3 a.m. every day. So I was like, yeah, hi, what's going on?
I was doing great until you interrupted my sleep.
Like, wait, what's going on here? Yeah. But within minutes, before I could warn anybody else in my family, they'd moved on to my other brother. And he did not realize this was a scam. So same thing, immediate chaos. We have her. And my brother says he swears he heard my voice in the background. Mm-hmm. And they say, if you don't pay us right away, we're going to slit her throat and you're going to hear it on the phone. So my older brother sent money via Venmo.
Oh my gosh.
Sent a screenshot to the phone number that the woman on the phone. So there were two voices. There was mine in the background.
Right.
Not really mine though. And the woman who was carrying out the scam. He texted confirmation, and only after that did they hang up the phone. Then my brother calls me and goes, hey, are you good? Again, I'm like, yes. Hi, everybody. I'm fine. But the scariest part of it was that he really thought he was hearing my voice. He says, right. I swear I heard your voice.
It is, and the way we found out was because didn't you post on social media, hey, to my friends and family, I'm fine.
Yes.
If you get a phone call saying I've been kidnapped, I haven't.
Yes. So after I talked to both of my brothers and then immediately called my parents because they figured, well, if they're going to my brothers, they're going to go to my parents next. After I got that taken care of and said, if you think you're receiving a call from me in the next few minutes, you're not. And if you think you're hearing my voice in the background of another phone call, you're not. I then posted on Instagram stories and said the same thing to everybody. Hey, don't answer. This is a scam. This isn't me. And then did some research on what spoof calling actually is.
So what did law enforcement say?
You know what's really discouraging? I actually haven't heard back from anybody.
You called and nobody returned a call?
Chandler Police, yes. I received text messages saying, hey, because it was at night, so it wasn't their operating hours for the non-emergency line.
Right.
But I received text messages saying, our queue is long, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you. Like probably 12 of those and then nothing. I filed a report online with the FCC as well, got an auto reply via email that just said like, hey, thanks, we're logging your information to make our replies better, our responses better.
What's your brother's recourse to recoup his money?
So because he has proof via Venmo, like sent the screenshot and was able to prove what happened, his bank has already refunded him, thank goodness. But I think that's maybe an important thing to know. They didn't ask for his credit card info. They didn't ask for his, routing information, his bank information. It was, you have this app on your phone right now. We know we can get money from you in seconds or minutes. And because if it were, we need your bank account information, I'd be like, well, I don't have that memorized.
Right.
But because it's Venmo, you can immediately go to your phone and say, yes, okay,
right.
What do you need?
PayPal,
What do you need?
any of those pay apps.
Zelle, Apple Pay, etc. Yeah.
So since this has happened, you have not heard back from law enforcement, which shocks me.
Yeah.
Are you going to follow up with them, or are you just going to let it sit?
You know what? No, I should, and I probably will. On just this week has been nuts for multiple reasons. That was the start of the insanity that's come our way. Unrelated, but just been kind of a crazy week or so. But I will probably follow up with Chandler Police, because what I wished I had known beforehand was, hey, the move is don't send anyone any money. Hang up, immediately call the person back, because again, it shows up on your phone looking like it is me calling you or you calling me. So if that really were the case and these scammers wanted your money, or these criminals wanted your money, if you called them right back, or called you right back, called me right back, you'd think they would answer, right?
Right.
So I'm glad that my younger brother knew to do that. I wish my older brother had known to do that.
But how do they get how do they clone your phone so that they can use your number so it looks like you're calling?
I have no idea. And that's what's so scary. Because it's not like, oh, he answered a blocked or unlisted phone number.
And then they said it was you or somebody that had you. It looked like it was from your phone.
Yes. And they knew that those were my siblings.
Yeah.
So they must have been in my contacts, right? Like looking at my favorites that has my parents, my siblings, a couple of my coworkers, my husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what scares me, is I don't know how they got within.
Which
the
for
network.
me, that would be the question for law enforcement, because what I would love to be able to tell people is, how do you avoid this from happening to you?
Right.
And what happens, you know what happens if it does happen to you, how you handle it. But how do they get into your phone? Do they have access to your phone? Because if it's popping up as you, they must have cloned, at least for that moment, you.
Yep. The contact, all of my contacts in my phone. Yeah, I have no idea.
Did you change your number?
No, I haven't.
Are you gonna?
I don't know. Because the thing is, they can do that to anybody at any time. I don't know what changing my number would do.
Yeah, or if I'm so technologically not advanced that I don't know how that technology works.
And I would say I'm relatively technologically advanced, and I still have no idea how it works.
With AI, they can clone a voice.
Yes.
And so it can sound like it's you on the phone.
Absolutely.
But to have your picture show up with your phone number on somebody else's phone, that to me is incredible.
It is. It's incredibly scary. And I'm glad you mentioned AI again. Let's hit on that, because the fact that my brother, obviously he knows my voice, right? He swears that he heard my voice in the background. So there is an AI app. I did some reading. There's a CNN article, because there's a family in Scottsdale that this happened to. I believe it was earlier in 2023, in spring of last year. And so I'm not the only, person that's getting hit by this in Arizona. This family, after they got hit, CNN did a story on them and said that there is a cheap AI app that can replicate an everyday person's voice.
Yeah.
And I mean, being radio folks, our voices are out there all day, every day.
I was on CNN with Allison Camerata. I used to travel to New York last year and did some stuff with CNN.
Okay.
And they did a spot on AI, and they duplicated her voice and could not tell. And now it sounded a little bit robotic when you listen closely. But absolutely duplicated her voice.
And I'm sure in the panic of the moment, you're not like, is that robot Mike, or is that real Mike?
Right.
Yeah. Scary stuff. And think about it. Even for, relatively private folks, they post videos on Instagram or on Facebook or X/Twitter. Our voices are all easily duplicated.
Yeah.
So I did read that a family password is probably a good next step to create if you haven't already. Do you have a family password?
No.
Okay.
And if I did, I couldn't repeat it on the air, I'm sure.
I wouldn't ask you
in my
to.
family. What I'm saying is, it would be one I wouldn't be allowed to say in my family. It would be.
We have FCC guidelines here,
Yes,
folks. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. So I had never thought to do that before with my siblings or my parents or my husband. But I guess if, parents are separated from their kids, maybe they're home with the babysitter or they're at school or something. If you want to make sure that they're okay, you can ask the kid or whomever for the code word. So now that's something I'm going to have to implement with my loved ones.
Well, listen, all joking aside, I know that you are doing this in good spirits, but we are so glad that you're okay.
Thank you. Me too.
And I'm sorry this happened to you. And I please let me know, because I would love to be able to report back if you ever hear back from Chandler
Sure.
PD.
I'll follow up.
Or if you follow up, please do.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching The Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch the first season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.